What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in this video the title kind of explains everything, so does the thumbnail. So let's get it started. Chase Young has officially declared for the NFL draft today. So I don't know exactly when this is coming out to when you've seen the news. You may not even seen the news yet, but yes, he has declared for the NFL draft, which doesn't surprise me. I saw this coming. I didn't think there was any reason for him to stay in college. You know you're going to be a top 3 pick. Why would you stay in college? That doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. But now he's in the NFL, so there we go. So that could be good news for the Detroit Lions. Obviously, Lions fans, they wanted to tank for Chase. And we're hoping we get the second pick, but we didn't. Now we're sitting at 3. We're sitting behind the dang Redskins. And man, oh, the Redskins, you could really make us mad this season, right? Or at least some of you guys, because some of you guys aren't all in for Chase Young. But this is for those people that, are either all in for Chase Young or they just want to see how it could work out. And I'm about to tell you how it could work out or what could fall in our favor. So basically, the first pick in the draft, belongs to the Bengals. And there's pretty much a 100% chance they're going to take Joe Burrow. I mean, they might as well do it now. They're going to take Joe Burrow. He's probably the best player in the draft. And, they need a quarterback. So there you go. Very simple. But that second pick is what really hurts us. The Redskins are sitting right there before us. And no, if we would not have tied the Arizona Cardinals and we would have just lost, we still wouldn't beat the second pick. The reason is because of strength of schedule actually comes into play before head-to-head, which is kind of weird to me, but that's the truth. So I thought I would point that out for some people that are kind of confused about that. I actually learned that recently too, because I didn't know either. So if you don't know, I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't know that either. But we're going to be talking about how possibly Chase Young could fall to the third spot or how the Lions could somehow get him, okay? Now, there's three ways that I found or that I came up with that the Lions could potentially. They may be far-fetched, but, I mean, why not? That's all it is. That's your only option right now. So here we go. The first option, I think, would be somehow, some way, the Redskins saying, nope, you know what? We're going to pass on him and draft someone else. Now, this would be kind of crazy, okay? I'm going to mention this now. I'm going to mention it in my next point as well. The Redskins do not have a second-round pick right now, so keep that in mind. That could be very important. The Redskins' biggest need coming into this season or the offseason is an offensive tackle. It is their biggest need. You can look across the Redskins, fan pages, wherever you're going to look. They need offensive linemen, actually interior offensive linemen too. They just need offensive line help, but I'd say their biggest need is a tackle, but they can't go wrong with offensive linemen. And 2 big offensive linemen are probably going to go within the top 10. And Washington, unless for some reason they wanted to trade back, they would probably have to sit here. And Andrew Thomas, the first guy I'm going to be talking about, they may not even be able to trade back and still get, because you'd probably have to trade back like number 4. That probably won't happen. So I think Andrew Thomas would be that guy that they would take and not trade back. So if they want a really big tackle, a really good name offensive lineman, there you go. There's also a guy, Tristan Wirfs, who's also that high of the caliber that you could potentially take at number 2. Otherwise, I don't think there's anyone else that you would take at number 2 without just trading back, because that wouldn't make sense. So maybe if they want Andrew Thomas or Tristan Wirfs, they decide, you know what, we'll just stay here, play it safe. We're going to take our biggest need, and yes, we're going to pass on Chase Young. They have Montez Sweat, who they traded up to get last season, so maybe you just stick with Montez Sweat. I don't know. You really need to get Chase Young? Do you really, Washington? That is the first possible way. The second way is if we trade up with the Washington Redskins. Now, this may seem like, oh, wow, you're going to give up a lot to trade up for 1 pick to get an edge rusher. That's dumb. That's not worth it. But the reason I could say maybe it is worth it is if you don't want to spend all of that money in free agency. The Detroit Lions need to find a way to get edge rushers. Their pass rush was awful, and they don't like the blitz. We know that. It's not going to change. So with that being said, we need to find edge rushers. And if you don't want to spend tons of money, you got one option. You go in the draft and get a rookie contract. And who could that be? A talented player that may be as talented as some of those other guys in free agency and also on a cheap contract. That is Chase Young. Maybe you trade up to get it. Maybe you give them your second-round pick, because like I said, they don't have a second-round pick. So if you give them your second-round pick, maybe that'll make them happy. Like, hey, we got a second and a first-round pick, and you only went back 1 spot. We still want our tackle. We can go get him. I'll take that. The Redskins may do that. Maybe you give them a second and next year's third or something. I don't know. But you got to make it happen. The Lions are in win-now mode. I don't think they're too worried about 2021 picks, and they shouldn't be. I know you want to look for the future, but dang it, Bob Quinn, if you want to save your job, I can tell you how to look into the future. Trade away some of those picks if that's what it takes. If it takes giving away next year's pick and this year's second-round pick, potentially to go get this talented of a player, then you have to do it. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, we can't give away a second-round pick because that's too high. That's too much to give to move up 1 spot. That's just dumb. We need a lot too many holes. But I could say this. I could make this argument. Well, if you give up the second-round pick and you get Chase Young, then what if you just take that money that you saved, which is going to be tons of money, because if you look at the free agency class, with franchise tags, I almost said tags, with franchise tags and the need for rushers, they're going to be so expensive that you could take that saved money and just use it elsewhere on other needs. for guys that are experienced, guys that have proven, and that kind of thing, okay? Because they're not going to be expensive. Most positions are not as expensive as pass rusher unless it's a quarterback. That's usually how it goes. So that would be the reason to say, you know what, let's just give away our second-round pick. Give away our second-round pick, take the money we saved, get Chase Young, and then go use that money elsewhere to fill in those other needs that we need to. So boom, dang, there you go. And you know what, if you had to trade away a 2021 pick, do it. Because you know what, you're not going to have your job in 2021 otherwise. You may not. So this could be that guy that saves you. I don't know. We don't know how good Chase Young is to be. He could be a bust. I have no idea. But for those people that want to see how we could potentially get him, that's how you could potentially get him. If the Lions are bought in that this is the dude, then you got to go get him. And finally, Jerry Jeudy. I mean, Jerry Jeudy could be that reason that the Lions or the Redskins, say, yeah, let's just take a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver, okay? One of the biggest needs coming in this offseason is wide receiver. And Jerry Jeudy is by far the best wide receiver in my opinion. If you watched him against Michigan, I think he told you a little something over 200 yards receiving. He balled out. He looked pretty dang good. And I was like, yeah, that's a really good player. So maybe they're like, you know what, let's take a Jerry Jeudy. Bad teams take the guys that sell tickets. That's what happens sometimes. I know Chase Young could sell tickets, but sometimes Jerry Jeudy would as well. You're like, yeah, we got Jerry Jeudy, man. Look, Washington fans, we're going to be good next season. We got the best wide receiver we could possibly get. Can you imagine him with Haskins? Come on, man. Or maybe they take a quarterback. I have no idea. But those are the ways that I think that they could do it. Maybe they take a quarterback. Maybe they take a Justin Herbert or something. I don't know. Maybe if they're hyped up. Maybe a Tua. Maybe they're crazy and take Tua too. I don't know. Tua too? No. That's it. Those are the three ways. Now, you could be saying to yourself, don't do this. He's not worth it. That's okay. If you believe that, that's cool. If you believe he is worth it, that's cool. We don't know. We have no idea what he's going to be. Some players, they don't do much in college, come out in the NFL, and all of a sudden they're studs. Some players ball out in college, they come to the NFL, and they are terrible. So you just never know. You really don't. So none of us have the right answer, but I will say this. If the Lions want to do it and they believe this is a guy that can really help them out, I think there's a good argument for trading up. And who knows, maybe the Redskins take a player that's not Chase Young at 2, and we get bailed out. Let me hear your thoughts, comments below, but Chase Young has declared. Thank you, Prep, for watching, and I'm out.